What's going on? Jake here with Uncommon EDC. One of the things I look forward to most each month is the reveal of the new Jack Wolf knives model, and this month I think we got something pretty special with the introduction of a new model called the Benny. The Benny is going to be the third locking model in the Jack Wolf knives lineup, releasing at authorized dealers Friday, July 12th, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. Just like last month where we saw the introduction of a dealer exclusive version, we're going to see the same this month with an exclusive from DLT. So all of the authorized dealers will get 4 of the variations, and DLT will get those 4 plus their own exclusive version. We'll talk about what those variations are a little bit later in the video, but for now you're looking at the Mars Valley Fat Carbon variation. First experience with Mars Valley, I think it looks incredible. I hope it's coming across on camera. Definitely won't be my last time picking this fat carbon up, because really great combo with those reds and oranges, especially on my show side. That orange is extremely prominent, so I think that looks great. It's paired with a belt satin hollow grind finish and a stonewash flats on the blade, and so that's really a killer combo as well. I'm not sure if it's their first time doing it. It's definitely my first time getting it on one of their knives, and would love to see that continue as well. Really great combo. Last but not least, paired with DLC finished hardware. So we have the DLC coated Torx screws, we have the back spacer, as well as the pocket clip, all DLC coated, and the plug for that recess if you decide to forego the pocket clip. Now, when you're getting this, make sure you don't just dump it out and lose that plug, because they are matched pairs. So mine is numbered 140. The interior of this will also be numbered 140, so they know they go together. And if you lose it, you probably can get a replacement, but most likely it won't fit as seamlessly as the matched pair that ships with your knife. So you do want to keep track of that if you ever plan on swapping those out. Now, as far as the locking models go, just like the previous ones, this one is based off of an existing slip joint pattern in their lineup. This time, of course, that's going to be the Benny's clip, hence the Benny. And so I don't have that particular model to compare it to in size, but do know that this one is going to be a little bit larger, just like all of the other locking models were compared to their counterparts. Now, I think this actually may be the largest Jack Wolf knife we've ever received, coming in at a little bit over 7.5 inches. And I think that's part of what makes this one such a seamless transition into a locking model. Honestly, if I didn't know any better, I would say this one was designed as a locking model, because it just works so well. And part of that is going to be this super robust handle. You can see the width on here is a lot wider than we typically see, over 1 inch in width here and nearly 1/2 inch in thickness. And that really pairs to fill out your hand very nicely. We have this 4.29 inch handle. I was going to say 4 1/4, but pretty much same thing. 4.29 inch handle really allows you to get all 4 fingers wrapped around there, and you can spread out. It's a generous amount of real estate, so extremely comfortable, and that thickness really fills out the palm of your hand nicely. The pocket clip hides behind your pinky and ring finger knuckles, and of course, if you're feeling that, you can always remove it and replace it with that plug that I mentioned earlier. And so just a really natural fit in my hand. It feels like it's ready to work. It's also paired with a little bit of a thicker blade here. We have a 3 1/4 inch clip point style blade, S90V, of course. I love a good clip point. It has that super slicey hollow grind, but you can see a little bit more robust on the spine, especially at that tip. Doesn't come to as fine of a tip, so you have a little bit more strength there. That swedge does go down, but it keeps the tip nice and robust. And really great blade shape. We have our sharpening 12 back here, Jack Wolf on the tang and S90V on the opposite side. We also have this fuller here, kind of looks like a long pull. That's not just an artifact of the original design, but also a deployment method. So we have our flipper tab as well as the fuller here. Flipper tab works excellent, very minimal, but we have this super grippy jimping, so makes it really easy to just roll that out of there, and super snappy. A lot of the different acoustics between the 3 locking models. This one doesn't have as much of a ting, more of a thwack because of the weight of that blade, but still sounds great. Also, the weighty blade adds to a much better drop shot action. As you can see, it doesn't even require that shake that we saw on the previous models. You can just kind of twist it out and it falls shut, which is excellent. But did mention that fuller, you can use that for your middle finger flick. Haven't done it too much because my middle finger is injured. I do have full mobility, but it just kind of hurts to flick it, but we're gonna give it a try here. So perfect, flicks out of there really nicely. And one of my favorite ways to deploy both the gunslinger and the after hours jack, so definitely excited to explore that aspect a little more once my finger's fully healed there. But excellent action on this. And again, just to show that drop shut action, drops onto your nail, that tang hits it, so it's not going to destroy your nail, and you can just kind of twist it to let it drop shut. So really fun one to fidget with. Weight's pretty good on this one as well. We're looking at 3.46 ounces is what I weighed this one in. Usually you get a little bit of variance between the different variations in the cover materials, but as good a time as any to talk about those cover materials. So this is the Mars Valley fat carbon. We have a few different fat carbon options this month. The other one that I was contemplating was the White Storm. Really tough choice between the two. I'm pretty happy with my choice now that I have it and saw the example that I got, but I think that one looks excellent as well. We also have an Arctic Storm version of the fat carbon. And last but not least, for the non-exclusives is the titanium. This one has a crosshatch pattern, purple anodized hardware, which I love purple, so that was a tempting option as well. And that one's going to be the only one with the frame lock. You can see we have the bolster lock here. Any of the ones with the cover inlays are going to be bolster locks, and you'll only have access at that top, which is fine. It actually is a little bit easier for your deployment. You don't have to worry about accidentally covering that frame lock like you might on the titanium version. The DLT exclusive is Ultem. It's a smooth, polished Ultem with a blasted and tumbled finish on the blade. And so that one's gonna go pretty quick if the last month's was anything to go by. I know those are more limited numbers because they're only going to one dealer. I think last month with TPK, it was only about 100 of them. So those did sell out pretty fast. I think Austin said it was the fastest he's ever sold out of one of the models. So definitely something that if that's a version you're gonna get, you wanna be there right at that drop time. But really, really cool. Excited about this one. We have some great artwork as well, and maybe a little bit different that your typical seeing. Instead of Jack on the stickers in the artwork, we have Ben. So we have the straight fire sticker, which couldn't agree with more. Really great. We do get two of them. I only put one of them right here. We also have this Pog with the artwork, and you can see him with that fireball and the silhouette of the knife inside the fireball. And so really, really cool. Of course, that does match our tube as well, so we can see this a little bit bigger. Start with the font here, the Benny. I think that looks great, pairs really nicely with our artwork. And so we'll do the slow turn here. And you can see that mullet blowing in the wind with those glasses and that beard on. And again, we have that fireball kind of Street Fighter-esque with the silhouette of the knife in there. So I think this is going to be a really, really cool one. It's a little bit early to say, but I feel like this has potential to land in my top 3 of all time. Just kind of, when you grab a knife, you kind of know just how it feels in your hand. It melts into your hand, slides into the pocket easy, and just feels right, really well balanced, and appeals to me. And what I like aesthetically, the fidget factor is definitely there, has a great deployment, great drop on it. And so I think this is definitely going to be one of my favorites, but we'll definitely update in the future if that's not the case. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you're picking one of these up, which version you might go with, or which one you're excited about, and anything else you'd like to comment. Do love interacting in the comments. But again, these are dropping July 12th, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern at authorized dealers, and I'll link to all of that information in the description of this video. But thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, or join the channel as a member. All help the channel out a ton, and I hope you have a great one. Take care.